The biggest issue with most 12-volt refrigerators is that they require you to tap into your vehicle's power to give them life. And then once you do, the refrigerator will essentially live in your vehicle forever and constantly draw on that power for as long as you leave the fridge turned on. Meet the Anker Solix Everfrost 2, the 12-volt electric cooler that solves those headaches and might just be the fridge that you've been looking for. Before we dive in, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Anker Solix, and they have asked me to share my thoughts on their new Everfrost 40-liter portable fridge, and I'm excited to give you a full breakdown of all of its features. But I don't want you to worry. Everything I'm about to tell you is based on my honest thoughts and opinions and experiences with this fridge. I will walk you through all of the details on how it works and why it could be the right fridge for your setup. I hate videos that wait until the very end of the video to tell me if what I'm watching it for is actually worth it. So I'm going to front load my final thoughts so that you can know if the rest of this video is actually for you and if the fridge is for you. The Everfrost, it's not going to replace my preferred portable fridge setup. I like a more involved and permanent installation, but my truck is not a daily driver. It is used almost exclusively for my adventures. My truck also has a proper electrical setup to handle a traditional 12-volt refrigerator. I have 405 amp hours of Dakota lithium batteries. I have a Red Arc BC-DC 1250, and then I'll be expanding that to a Manager 30 to pair with it, so I'm getting an alternator charger of like 80 amps. Anyway, if all of that was jargon to you, then the Everfrost 2 is your fridge because you don't have to get that complicated with it. I have been a fan of Anker Solix products for quite a long time, and I'm adding the Everfrost 2 to the list of products that I like. The idea that a fridge can be easily moved around like any old ice chest is pretty slick. The large wheels, they help it roll over various terrain. The handle, it's sturdy. And it can hold the weight of the fridge along with everything inside. It doesn't feel like it's going to break on you. The option to run 2 batteries with this and extend the life to around 4 days is impressive. The screen and the controls, they're bright, they're vibrant, they're easy to navigate. If everything that I've just kind of mulled over quickly so far sounds like you, then this is your fridge. And you can scan this QR code right here, or find the link in the description to make this fridge yours. And if you're watching this in February of 2025, before March 6th of 2025, then take advantage of the early bird offer. That includes paying $10 to get $300 off of this and a free road trip kit that includes a cup holder, a knife holder, and a rod holder, which is valued at like $60. So essentially a saving of like $360, which is pretty good. Okay, that is the quick and dirty sales pitch, along with all of the sponsored jargon that Anker Solix wanted me to talk about. But you clicked this video to learn the truth about the Anker Solix Everfrost 2. So let me get into some of the nitty-gritty details, and we'll talk about what the Everfrost is, who it's for, some specifications, the positives, the negatives, and then we will recap all of the final thoughts that we just went over. So, what is it? The Everfrost is a 12-volt electric cooler that fills a unique void. Being battery-powered, it removes the need for complicated electrical systems in your vehicle, which also allows the Everfrost to be fully portable. It doesn't need to live in your setup 24/7 and can be easily removed to return your adventure mobile to that, 9 to 5 daily driver. With the Everfrost, there is no undelivered promise of 3 days of ice, excuse me, which means no more soggy foods. It also means no more losing space to that rapidly melting ice, and no more uncertainty about whether the food is safe to actually eat, because you will know what the temperature of the air inside actually is. So, kudos to this thing. Now that we know what it is, who is it for? From my perspective, it isn't for me. I, like I was saying, am an integrated systems kind of guy. I prefer that my fridge be locked, loaded, and ready to go at any given second. It is always running. This is not that. The Everfrost is for the adventurer who doesn't want a permanent fridge in their vehicle. It's for those who are just going out to the beach for the day and they need to keep their drinks and lunch cold. It's for the job site crew who need to have their cooler on site but then pack it up and leave with it when the day is done. And all of those people who are doing that, they're done with ice. They're sick of it. That's who this is for. While I understand why Anker Solix sent this to me, I don't see it as an overland fridge. And I think that's okay. Not everything needs to be bolted to your vehicle. Here's a use case of how I plan to put this to work for me later this summer. My family makes a yearly trip to Bear Lake. It's the large lake that borders northern Utah and southeastern Idaho. And for years, we have pre-made our salads, our drinks, and even our sandwiches, and then tossed them into the ice chest inside of some Ziploc bags. And by the time we dig into all of our food and everything is just floating in ice water. And we take an ice chest because the vehicles are parked away from us where we are down on the beach, and we want to have easy access to cold drinks and cold snacks and sandwiches and all that stuff. So while I have debated taking a fridge in the past, the complication of the portable battery and unbolting my fridge to haul it down to the shoreline, it just doesn't make sense. With the Everfrost, it makes perfect sense and is exactly why this fridge exists. If you are the person that sees that scenario of like, yeah, I want to be able to take this out of my truck and I want to haul it somewhere down maybe by the docks or wherever you're going, up to the cabin, bring it inside wherever you're staying, and you don't have to unload all the food, this is for you. You are who this was made for. All right, specifications. This is going to be pretty dry, so we're just going to run through all of these. The Anker Solix Everfrost is 29.5 inches long, 18.1 inches wide, and 19.5 inches tall. It is made of high-density polyethylene and has an insulated wall that is as thick as 60 millimeters, or about 2.3 inches. Empty, the fridge weighs 56 pounds and has a maximum interior load capacity of 110 pounds. And that interior load rating is only in place because of the maximum, the maximum rating of the collapsible handle. It can be used as a camp seat. So on top of the lid, it can hold 242 pounds. It can cool as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit and hold a high temp of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. While off the charger, its ideal ambient temperature range is between -4 degrees Fahrenheit and 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit while charging. Told you it was going to be dry. It has 3 cooling modes. Max mode, which means exactly what it says, maximum. This is what you use when you need to get it down to temperature quickly. Smart mode, I've kept it on this mode the entire time I've used it, to be honest, and it seems to be efficient enough for a couple of days while balancing power and temperature management. And then the third mode is eco mode. I'll be honest, it has been so cold, as you can see by some of my B-roll out here, that I haven't been able to give this one a fair shake. It seems to work really great when it's 30 degrees outside, as it should. So check back with me this summer and let's see if eco mode is worth it. It can hold 2 288 watt-hour batteries, but it only comes with one. You will need to purchase the second if you want to add that. Each battery gives around 2 days of fridge use, and I found that to be true. Again, it's pretty cold here right now, so let's see what this is at right now. Well, maybe it just died. So, that's weird. That can't be dead. Oh, my arm's been resting on it. I turned it off with my arm. Well, it's at 78%, and I charged this about 24 hours ago. So, and it's empty right now. So it's been holding that temperature empty pretty well. There you go. Okay, where was I? 2 batteries should get you just over 4 days. So yeah, if you buy both batteries, you should get just over 4 days of use on the fridge. I think they say 4.3 days, but just over 4 days. It can charge via solar. Oh, it's just turned on. Can you hear it? That's something I wanted to talk about. I don't think it's very loud. Can you hear that? I'm going to turn it off just in case you can. I don't want it to be annoying. Good night. Okay, so it can charge via solar and DC at a maximum of 100 watts, AC via the AC adapter at 95 watts, and it has a USB-C charger so it can charge at 60 watts. It features an IPX3 rating, which I have put to use today, making it water resistant should it start raining or, I don't know, snowing while you're using the fridge. The wheels are 6 inches in diameter, and some wheel chucks are included to prevent it from rolling around when stored. We'll talk about those in a minute. When empty, it can cool to 32 degrees Fahrenheit in 15 minutes. And when full, it can cut that time by about 30% because it has a really neat, I don't know if you can see this, built-in fan right there that moves the air over the food. Make sure I'm focused. Good. The operating sound level, oh, there it is. The operating sound level is nearly non-existent. I'm reading a script, can you tell? So if you're planning to sleep next to this, I don't think it'll bother you. Like I was just saying a second ago, it's pretty darn quiet. And the last spec, the lid is a side open lid like we were just showing, and it is not reversible, and that's because of that really neat fan, which we just showed off just a second ago, which I think is unique to this. I don't think I've ever seen that on another 12-volt refrigerator. Okay, let's talk positives. The screen is bright and high resolution. Using it in daytime is so nice. I have used so many other refrigerators and their displays are too dim or just difficult to navigate. So the menus on this are easy to navigate, and really, I can't tell you with how many refrigerators I play with that are weird menus and they're just difficult. I also like that this display will just shut off after a while, so it isn't casting a bright light in that's easily seen through like a tinted window or something like that. Yeah, because no one wants like powered on electronics easily visible from outside of their car. So seeing that the display goes to sleep, big plus. The handle that doubles as a table is actually much more sturdy than I expected. Using it to move the cooler around is easy. The wheels are smooth, and I don't feel like any of this is just going to come apart when it's full and I'm yanking on that handle. Or if you have to like twist it funny to get it up a curb or a step. It's pretty robust. I have to say that I didn't expect it to feel as tough and as solid and as like well constructed as it is. That is probably what impresses me the most is this thing's a tank. It really is. So if you're looking for a strong fridge that's not metal, right? This is a plastic fridge still. It's pretty darn strong. Stronger than I expected. The light on the inside. Oh, it's turned off. Remember? I turned it off. It's bright. It makes seeing the interior easy. I do wish there was a second light. I always like when there's two lights inside. And the latch, like you just heard, it has a very distinct click when closing. I think it's very simple to unlatch. Some of my other 12-volt refrigerators that I've used, I've had to like slam them shut. But this one, it's a very satisfying, I know it's closed. I can do that, or I can just, and it's definitely closed. So very nice. Okay, I like that it can hold nearly 245 pounds on the lid, because using this as a seat, since you're taking it out of your car, is just obvious. The battery life is surprisingly good. Like I said, I've been using it in cold temperatures, but it is better than I expected. While Anker Solix didn't send me the 2 batteries, I really wish they would have so I could test that, but whatever. I like that the second void isn't left empty, but instead becomes kind of a drawer. So it's nice keeping all of the charging cables and stuff like that in it. It's got a bottle opener. That's something positive. It's kind of cool because, you know, you're going to have drinks in here. What else? I mean, the water resistance, we saw how that worked today. That's definite positive. So, all right, let's move into negatives. Okay, a quick preamble to my negatives. Just because I have a list of these doesn't mean that this sucks or it's garbage or you shouldn't buy it. I know how product design meetings go, and I know that not everything on the wish list from the designers and the engineers and the team can make it into the final product. So, that said, the things I'm about to talk about are things I wish were different about this fridge, and that maybe the design team would have been like, yeah, that's a need. So, the first one is really the big one. This is the major negative. There is no clear way to tie down the fridge. It's just kind of loose. The rear handle, this one right here by the table, it's a great spot. You can run a strap through it super easy. But on the control or the battery side, it's just a grip. There's no pass-through. And to me, this oversight is the key reason why I'm sticking with my current fridge. It's just better for that long-term use to just, bolt it or strap it down for good. So to get this to strap in my truck, I had to do kind of a funny front strap here, and then I ran one around it back to the other tie-down points. It wasn't perfect. It kind of actually made this end of the fridge lighter, so the wheel end, the battery end over here. And so it kind of lifted and scooted. It's just, it didn't hold great. So that's really my biggest negative. And because this side has omitted a pass-through, there's the controls here. So if you're running the strap over the top of the controls, just like we saw my arm as I was resting on it. I mean, they're flush buttons, but if you have a strap running over this, who's to say that strap wouldn't unintentionally press buttons, maybe turn the heat up on it, or turn the heat down, or the temperature down on it, turn it off completely, whatever. So for me, having no clear way, no tie down points, that's all it needed. If it had just easy tie down points right here, boom, boom. So you could just strap it down, still access the lid, right? Still get to it while it's strapped down. But you'd have a great fridge. I don't know if I would have negatives to really talk about. So that's my first negative. No real easy way to strap it down. And I have to say, for some of you, it's probably not a big deal. Some of you might just strap it down and only need access to it when it's outside of your car. Great. Then just strap this sucker down. You got it. This is the fridge for you. Like I said, it's not an Overland fridge. So there you go. I do want to say that maybe if enough of us say something, maybe Anker Solix will create like a vehicle mounting kit that you can just kind of like snap this into, especially if it was on a slide. Wouldn't that be rad if their vehicle mounting kit was a mounted slide that you could bolt down, click this into, and then when you need it, unclick it and pull it out. And especially if the slide had like a built-in power belt. Guys, Anker, listen to me here. I got all the ideas. You asked me to review it. Let me give you some ideas on some new stuff to make. Okay. You get the idea. I wish there was a better way to strap it down or to mount it some way. I really like that idea. Wouldn't that be rad if it was on a slide? Because then you wouldn't have to worry about it. But then you can't reverse. Well, I guess you just move the slide passenger or driver based on how you want this to open. But yeah, let it click in and it's like click and then push it in like a drawer, pull it out. It's got like one of those power belts on it so it can be powered easily. That'd be rad. Okay, moving on. So the next negative, it's the wheel chucks. They don't do anything. So far as I have played with them, they are just kind of a nuisance. If there was an actual built-in like wheel lock, that would be awesome. Like, I'm a new dad, so like a stroller, that's the ticket. Plus, the little things, they don't fit in this tiny little battery drawer. So when you're not using this, or when you're, you know what I'm trying to say, when you're out using this and it's not trying to be chalked, where are you going to put those things? There's no spot to store them. So you throw them in with your food? What if they were just in the sand? No. The wheel chocks, no good. A good wheel lock, that'd be great. Like, workbenches, the casters on those have had wheel locks forever. Just something simple. Boom, press a little thing with your toe, lock the tire. Tire, wheel, you know what I mean. What else do I have that's a negative? The handles are offset, so the grip up here is high. I don't know if that matters. So the grip on the battery side, that's not the pass-through, is higher than the handle that's over here on the other side. I don't know. I'm grasping. 2 of the 3 negatives, I don't think they're deal breakers. But if you find yourself bouncing down the same roads that I drive, then the first negative, it should be enough to have you look at an alternative solution for your food storage needs. If that isn't an issue, then I have to say you found a really great fridge that I know you will enjoy. All right. Okay. So final thoughts. Again, this isn't my forever fridge. I have a few one-off situations that I think this is perfect for, so I will be keeping this. It's not something I'm going to, I don't know, give to my brother or my dad. This one, I can see instances where this makes a lot of sense. And most of them are for like big family gatherings. So maybe this will stay with my dad in his trailer. Anyways, I guess around the house, backyard gatherings, barbecues, things like that. There you go. Anyway, price. With a retail price of $8.99, I think that this is a home run for so many people. And then, saving on all of that complicated wiring installs and dual batteries and all of that stuff, or even the price of even one of like Anker Solix's other portable power stations to run the fridge, really makes this a home run. And honestly, I know a lot of you are creative, and I'm sure that you will find a way to strap this sucker down without any problems. And I look forward to seeing those solutions. And maybe, like I said, if enough of us, make enough noise, maybe Anker Solix will come up with something. All right. I don't know. I've rambled enough. So once again, if this is your new fridge, then go ahead and use this QR code right here. It's the same one from the front of the video. It's also the same as the link in the video description. I've just noticed that more than 51% of my viewers watch my videos on their TV. So how are you going to get to the video description on your TV? Just scan this. Scan the code. Scan the code. All right, that does it for me. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you didn't like it anyway. Whatever. Helps me out. If you like me, like the video. That's what I should say. If you like me, if you're like, hey, Justin, not my favorite video of yours, but you're all right. Go and like the video. If you have a question, leave me a comment. And if you want to hang out again, well, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'm Justin B. McBride.